All right, guys. For you guys that don't know me, I am AJ Knutson. Um, my background is from seventh grade to 12th grade. We in high school, I was we went split back under center split back veer, and and we had a lot of success with that. My coaches did that I learned from in Minnesota. And then when I started coaching with those guys at high school, they were under center flex bone, and did that for, well, I think I didn't do it the first year, but I was there 6 or 5 years with that, doing under center flex bone, and then we went to some gun stuff. So then during that time I also met my best friend, and started coaching semi pro with him. So, and he did everything from gun and taught me his formations and stuff, because we were very limited with under centers, flex bone and split back. So, but the coaching staff that I coached for had won 4 state championships and 12 section championships. So I learned from a very good group of guys. And but when I got out to California to run this with my best friend, our first season we rushed for 4,100 yards and averaged 10 yards a carry, because not a lot of teams run it the way we do. And so it's kind of the closest thing that you're going to see. The guys that are familiar would be Coastal Carolina, are the kind of the closest team that kind of runs what we do in comparison. So anytime you guys want to jump in and ask a question or anything, just unmute yourself and go ahead and ask away. So I thought I'd start with a 4-2, and then I can show you a 3-4, and then from there you guys can, ask whatever questions you guys want, and we can go, and you guys can ask and see what you want to go from there. So I'll start with midline. Hold on, get my defense set up here. So what we see 80% of the time is cover one. Very little zone against us, because we're gonna, we'll average about 14 formations a game, so we're really gonna change the formations. But basically, the defense gives us a three and a three technique, and probably a 2-eye on the backside. So, and again, our splits are 3 foot. I really expanded them here, so it's easier to draw in there. But they're 3 foot splits. So the nice thing is backside doesn't change for any of our plays. So depending on if this guy wants to widen with us, then that guard can just scoop, and then he can just punch and go like that. So that doesn't change on the backside. So our rule is on midline is to read one and kick out two. So this would be our read key. That's going to be the dive key. So we're reading one and kicking out two, which most of those DNs will go outside. These guys will block solid, um, like that. And then our rule on the outside um, would be, if this cornerback would be looking you in the eye, then you know it's man. Then you can run by him on the outside. And then if he's looking inside, then we're gonna block. The only guy really unaccounted for on this play is the free safety, because we're reading this guy. So then, and we simplified this for high school kids. We're always running up the center's butt on most of our plays, even front or odd front. And I'll show you how that changes. And then the quarterback's going to step forward and hinge, and he's pulling and replacing if it's a pull read. So again, if the three technique, comes down inside, obviously it's a pull. If he stands there, it's a give. If he comes up here, it's a give. So the only way that it's not a give is if this guy comes crashing down here. It's the only time it's not a give. So, any questions or comment on that on midline? Since we're right here, I'll go over the tags of midline real quick. So if you want your midline to look like inside veer, and you want to triple it, we don't really triple it. We decoy this to make it look like we're running is we call it midline pitch. And what that would do is that would account for the safety. That would change because now this guy's got to account for the pitch. The flat player is usually in charge of pitch. So we would change that up, and that's a way you could get to the free safety on that play. The other tag would be if you need help blocking this linebacker, you want to load the linebacker to free safety, you can go like that. You can motion this guy across, and now he's going to come loop around and load the linebacker, and then these two guys can go up the free safety. So that would be midline lead, and then delete that, delete this, go to we call this ram. Then you can wham block it, and you can bring him up inside. Again, you could still motion and kick him and keep account for him, and then you could do a combination. You could motion this guy in and around, and you could put all three guys on the play and account for everybody in the play. So that would be different little tags of midline. So I'm going to go to inside veer now, unless there's any questions on that by anybody. Just unmute yourself. So if you got any questions. Inside veer now, the beauty part of that is nothing changes here, nothing changes here, nothing changes here. Inside veer to us means we're reading one and pitching on two. So now we're leaving both these defenders alone. So now we're going to load this linebacker to free safety. He blocks here. But now, since I said we have a pitch man there, we have to motion for pitch. So he's going to aim at that quarterback's hip, because we also run in front. So aiming at the hip, they don't know if he's going in front or behind. And that would be your inside veer play. Or, the flexible version of mid triple was what we call this right here. So like, again, a beauty part is the midline and the inside veer, that really the only thing it changes for is that you add a pitch guy, and the tackle now goes to the linebacker. So they all go kind of hand in hand very well. Again, with outside veer now, you don't have to have a pitch man, which a lot of guys think that's weird, but you wouldn't have to. I would, for inside veer, I would make an adjustment on our split, bring him in, which is going to bring probably that dive read in a little bit more. But now we're going to block one, read two, and pitch off a three, if you wanted to do it that way. You can run, if you ran outside veer, no motion, it would look just like this. And now he's gonna hinge, he's gonna shuffle out there, and then he's just gonna take one little quick jab, and he's right up there. So again, we're reading this guy, not accounting for the free safety, don't have the motion. If you called midline, if you called outside veer, no motion. If you wanted to call just regular outside veer, add the motion. There's your pitch back. This guy now we're accounting for three. So now he can go block the free safety. And if it's cover one, he's probably going to take three with him, but they might roll coverage or understand like he's got pitch now when they start seeing that we motion. So that's some tags and some different variations of outside veer for that. So I'll show you guys how now, right, just the way this is set up right now, you can just go right from outside veer without changing any of the blocking inside, and you can just simply run speed option. Just like that. There's your speed option. So I mean, it's easy. It's nice for the linemen because they're blocking the same as outside veer, and all you're doing is changing the backfield. So that's how simple it is. And then if you wanted to run, now if you want to run lead option, he's going to come around. He's going to block. You would motion this guy. So again, they probably think that, fear's coming. And then we're going around like that. And the quarterback again right there is attacking. So that would be your lead option play. Again, it's just a simple tag, just a simple send lead, speed, and same blocking. So it's really, really nice and convenient there. Anybody got any questions or comments on those? I think we'll jump over to the 5-2, I think. Let's go undo. So 5-2. Just gonna move him there. I always like to keep these guys labeled 1 and 2 because that's how we base our offense out of. I'm gonna move this guy in now because we're gonna we'll add a tight end, we'll add a Y now and run it out of slot because our base rule is if they have, and I'm just gonna teach you the base stuff. If they have 6 or they have 7 in the box, we need 6. So that's all that changes there. So now he's there, and now they're gonna run. Now they'll run cover 0 against us. So that's what we see. So now midline's very basic. So whether this guy's on the line or not doesn't really matter. Again, backside now for midline, it's almost like a dive, or what you guys might want to call. I don't know what got you guys would have to tell me what you guys call this, but he's gonna go there, and then he could just outside release this if we want. If we want to get to the linebacker, he will take 2 shuffle steps back, and then he'll go up like that too, either or. You can do that, but then it's basically here's where it changes with the odd front. Is we're gonna aim at that center's butt still, just like we do before, but then he's got a 2-way go, basically reading that center's block and reading these linebackers and where they're going, and then again just pulling and replacing. The nice thing is if they're out in that 5 technique, it's a little bit slower read. He really has to come crashing in hard to get there. But adding this, so when you open up normally under center, these backers just fly over and come and get this. So it's definitely a way to hold those linebackers at bay. So now I would call here a simple variation of midline, because for us midline's reading 1, kicking out 2, is we're going to call veer kick. So now we're going to block it like veer, like inside veer. These 2 guys are going to double the backer. We're inside here, and now we're telling the Y kicks. So now we're still reading 1, still this double option. It just changes up the blocking for the lineman, and it's a really simple change to it. And then we'll already have that now. So now inside veer, again, That's the nice thing about veer kick is they're used to blocking this for inside veer. We always release inside. Again, leaving the 1 and the 2 alone. Got a motion. He's coming around. Again, he's got the exact same path to go inside, backside, which is phenomenal. And then, gosh darn, quarterback working down the line. So that would be your inside veer play. Again, there you wouldn't have to have. You could go out of doubles or whatever. You could go out of 2x2 and move that Y out and pull that 3 out with you. But that's your inside veer play. Outside veer play is not great against this, but because you just have to really practice the footwork. First of all, start with the blocking again. So we're going to start here. Double team out of a point of attack is very important. That's kind of a rule we like to too. He's going to go at that backer in case he flies over. He's going to step at that backer so in case he doesn't blitz, and then peel off the back if he doesn't blitz. He's just got to cut off here. He's going to do the best he can to scoot back here and to get that guy, and then he's just got there. So now we're going to, again, with outside veer, block 1, read 2, pitch 3. So gonna motion this guy across. You could very well could get this. If they do that, that would be if they were rolling coverage on this. Again, the quarterback's going to step forward and hinge, shuffle, shuffle. He's going to take a step over, meet him down the line, and then he's coming around for the pitch, which would be 3 over here. We've had it where 3 just rolls up, 2 crashes down, and the quarterback keeps it and takes off running. It's we don't tell him to give or keep or any of that stuff. The defense totally dictates all that stuff. Again, with that, that's exactly how we would run our speed option and our lead option. Exactly the same blocking again. That's what's really nice about that. A unique play. Let's get rid of all this that we run. This is from Troy Calhoun, and this would be our what we call Falcon or Uno play. We're going to block this, and we're going to read the nose guard. So these guys are all blocking this way and this way. And then we're going to motion. So this is our auto for jet sweep now is to do this. So these guys are all thinking that so he's going to double the D end up there first. And then the quarterback's just going to read. He doesn't even have to go anywhere. He just reads set hot and pulls in replace. Again, now if they're rolling the safeties over with motion, like sometimes you see, this is a great play because now the free safety, instead of being there, he's running over this way and he's running up here, which then that guy would go reach him there. If the D tackle stands there, you have to give it. But if he comes anywhere down the line, you should be able to keep it because you're blocking a full man back. And so with a 3-foot split, a 2-foot stance and 3-foot split, he's 8, and then if he's half a shade, he's about 10 feet away from the ball. That guy is. So he's a pretty good distance away from the ball on this. And this is probably the bread and butter play, I'd have to say, other than inside veer. This would be your second best play versus an odd front. So with that, is there any questions? Or else I'm going to go back now and talk about quick trap option and how that can be a double and triple option. And I think we'll start with this and then I'll switch it to a 4-2. So if we were to run quick trap on here against this, we're going to run it to the running back side because we want it to look like we want to get these guys. These guys have been crashing down, right? So it's basically almost like this. I mean, you can double it and you can go like that. and then he's going up there. And then here's your quick trap block. We're going to basically block it like inside veer. I mean, is basically what we're doing. Um, just about is what we want it to look like. And so if you wanted to triple option it, you'd add a pitch back. If not, he's just going to say set hut, step forward hinge, and then now he's coming, and now he can go right up that block just like that. And then here you can triple it if you wanted to count for number 3, or if they're rolling safeties on, or if they're rolling the safeties on motion. So we're quick trapping 1, and what he's been doing off of those other plays is crashing down. So this is a way to light him up. And it's the same blocking for these guys, which is really nice. You don't even have to block that DN. You just posted them up there. But it's a great way to hold backers and hold everybody at bay if they're getting really, really aggressive up front. So now I'll show it to you against a 4-2. So these guys are going to come over. Pretty easy to adjust to that. And then this guy goes there. 2Y. There and there. So basically on quick trap again, we're doing the same exact thing now. He's coming here. He's pulling for that guy. These guys are blocking that way. And now your D tackle's coming up here. So now again, we're leaving number 2, blocking 1, reading 2. And then again, he's just going right up the center's butt, which is what he's been practicing on midline and inside veer, is that track. And then again, if you want to tag triple, motion, and then you got triple option. I can tell you in the last 11 seasons, we've pulled it twice on this, and they both went for touchdowns. So it's 90% of the time, or even 95% of the time, it's a give. But if this guy's really crashing down, there's really nobody left, and because these guys go block, and this free safety steps up to stop that running back, and the quarterback scored twice on that. So it does get pulled, and it is a good play. I will talk about counter. Another quick trap's not really misdirection because we like running it to the running back side. You can run it the opposite way. We just like to run it to that side because we want to mess with number 1. That's the guy we're trying to mess with. With our counter play, what we're trying to do, this will help your jets. This will help with jet sweep and uno. So we're going to make it look like we're running jet sweep or uno. And then you might get them to roll. Doesn't really matter. The nice thing is here is it's a down block and a down block. So this is up blocking outside your backside for them. He's just blocking there. He's got a pull read, and then we're just kicking out him. If this guy would sit here, which is what we're kind of planning on him doing. So this guy's going to take a jab step, like he's going to go lead, and then he's coming around like that. If this linebacker decides to not run with him and just stay there and cover grass, it's a give. If he decides to come blitz backside, we're going to go a 1-2 slant. And so we'll RPO. That's how we can account for the flat player right here, is the RPO that guy. Sorry, it's on the wrong one. 1-2 slant, right where he would have been. And then that way we can get the ball out, and that's how we account for him. Other ways guys would account for him would be to pull their tackle, obviously. Kick and lead up and run GT. That's how you account for him. But we don't like to pull our tackles. We don't spend any time pulling them. And so that's how we account for the flat players RPO. And then I'll show it to you against the non-front. Again, it's pretty simple to change these guys over. Again, bring in the tight end as a base. Bring this guy down. Bring this guy over. Bam, now we have our odd front. So now when we're countering this, we're going to block inside veer. On the backside, see how that's inside veer? Leaving one in the two alone. He's just going to post there. He'll just post there. And he's going to kick that D end, which will basically be a 2-for-1. Basically ends up being a 2-for-1. Again, we're going to motion. So they think it's either Uno or they think it's some kind of veer play going that way. He'll run in front. He'll take his jabs up like he's going to go block, and then he's following that guy right up there. And usually on this, they're going to roll the safeties. But the base play of it is just to hold those linebackers, and it's the whole reason to run counter. It's not to score touchdowns. Our goal on run plays is 4 yards, so we still can get our 4 yards. And then it's really to mess with the linebackers. It's to mess with them so they can't blitz and they can't get there and they can't get us. So off of that, that's what we're trying to accomplish with our counters, to hold these guys so when they motion, they don't fly. We want to keep these guys at 4 yards sitting back, not being able to be aggressive. This play we actually have ran a lot. We run a lot of counter. So so with that, with all this would be what we're going to try to accomplish with our boot. Okay. So we're going to block. You want him to block backside A. And the back is going to step up like veer. So we're faking veer on our boot. So now he's got A, B, C, A, B, C. So we got all 6 gaps accounted for. He's going to run the flare. Quarterback's going to step forward hinge. We want him to get depth and right about behind that tackle. Right on boot. He's got fade comeback, which would be 14-12 with the timing of it. You got the tight end getting across the linebackers on the drag. You got a 7 to backside post. And then you also have the chance at a throwback if you want to tag throwback. So that's what we're going to accomplish with boot and fake veer. That would be our boot play. We had success with that at 9-man and 8-man level. We haven't ran it much in the 11-man level yet. Trying to think of anything else. I could show you, kind of go over our play action passes real quick. They're really, really simple. They all look the same, which is what's great about our play action passes. So again, it's the same blocking to his boot. We got all 6 gaps accounted for. We basically want him to engage the D tackle. We want that running back to look for the blitzing backer. But we want it to look like that. He's going to step up and hinge like he does, drop back. Should be about a 3-step drop back. He's going to run the flare. And then now it's kind of pick your poison. You can run your 9s with your seam. We'll run daggers or digs, I should say it, digs with the seam. I'll undo that. We'll run, this would be our flood concept. This would be 96. So he gets to 6 and rounds it to 12. So he's going to run away from there. That would be your flood concept. And then we also have with that, so now when he motions and we get this, Then we're going to go, I think this is, can't remember if that's just Y cross. And we're just going to call it Y cross like that. So we want him to get behind the linebackers and right where that free safety just left. So by the time he gets here, we're throwing him the ball right here in front of that free safety, because that free safety be rolling over there. And that's been a really good play for us too. Some things you can do on the outside with this too is you can have these guys run up and do like a hitch and go, or do like a stutter, where they actually stop and break down and then go again. You got that. Those are options too. If we were in spread or in shoot and we move our Y out, then we'll also just call, there's a couple different calls we can do. We'll just throw a screen. So these guys block, we're going to throw it to the flare. And then we'll call slants. If it's, like I said, we get coverage 90% of the time. And then we're going to go slant wheel and throw the wheel to the running back for a home run. So there's many different play actions, but then one thing that doesn't change, it's nice for the linemen. They don't have to think, because I don't want them thinking, is that the blocking up front is the same and the backfield action is always the same. So off of this right here, we have midline, we have inside veer, we have outside veer, we have counter. We have many different play action passes. We don't have a very good RPO against this, but I will show you. Well, we have the counter RPO against a 4-2, and I'll show you the other RPO we have that works really well against a 4-2. 4-2, if we don't run for 200 yards, it's because we didn't do our job, because the 4-2 never gives us any problems. So this would almost be kind of like, I guess when I see Coach Kavanaugh's on, this would be kind of like, I guess, duo, because we're doing this first. We really got to wait for those linebackers because of the RPO. And then our RPO out of this, because most of the time this guy sits here and covers grass. Our RPO out of this would be outside veer. So, and then we're gonna run that undo. We're gonna run this 6 to 12 on the speed out. He's got the 9. So now we're gonna read 2, and then if they just sit there, you can throw the flare. If he comes up because he reads option, he can throw the speed out. And then also if he crashes down and he just sits there, the quarterback also can take off and run. So the RPO off of this one is really phenomenal. But we're really, once this guy commits, your eyes go right to here, and he's got to make a decision. He's got to either go quarterback, or he's got to stay as cover 0. If he stays if he stays cover 1, he should take this, and then so he should be running away with this guy. And then I don't know, the free safety might have the running back on this, or your running back be wide open, or the quarterback can just take off. I mean, it's a pretty deadly RPO. So I can show you Uno off of this. It's not, again, it's a good play, but it's not a great play. You would probably want to attach the tight end some way, whether he's off or whatever, into a ram. But these guys are blocking for the quarterback. Since he's in a 2-eye, this is your read now. Um, sorry. I would account for that guy because you can, because we got the numbers here if we add the Y there. So again, taking care of point of attack, he can come up there, and then we're also going to lead around with this guy. So we got the numbers on jet sweep. We got both the back guys, both the linebackers accounted for, and we have great blocking angles. And again, this D tackle, we don't want to touch him. Just let him fly up the field, and then the quarterback now can just pull and replace out the back door. If you want to, I should say this too. Another way you can block it would be to keep it the same and fan everybody back. And so you could also, so you have the better angle, would be to block it like this. And that'd probably make the most sense, would be to fan it back and block everybody back. And so that way it's just like the odd front where, he's blocking back on that backside linebacker. These guys do their fan call, and then we're still just reading the D tackle. And we still have the numbers by attaching the Y to stop here, get the DN blocked, slide up to the linebacker. We got this guy leading around onto number 3. And so it shouldn't be strung out. And so you have a two-way go on this play with great blocking angles and with the numbers. So that's really all. Coach Kavanaugh and Justin, do you guys want to see my practice stuff, or else this is all the play stuff I was going to share, unless you guys wanted to see some film. So you guys unmute and let me know what you want to do.
Coach, I'm good. I like what you're doing, and I got a lot of good ideas from this.
Okay. Yeah. Was there anything that you wanted to see or spend any little extra time on?
I mean, if you want to show us some film, I wouldn't mind watching that.
Okay. I already have that up on here. And it's already labeled. And so if there's certain ones that you want to see, I have just all of our runs and are already labeled. I will sort it by play. I don't want to run. I think we'll start here with the end zone view.
It's the best view, Coach.
Yeah, I have a lot of our plays with both views. Okay, so again, now we can't account for this guy right here.
Uh-huh.
But you can see they block their outside veer. But basically by kicking him, we end up getting our 4 yards, and he goes and makes the tackle. That's why I think if he sits there, it'd be better just to throw the ball. But again, we're just trying to keep these linebackers from running out of there. Again, there's the guy we can't account for it. Well, we missed the block there, but again, our goal is only 4 yards and to keep guys at home. It's not to score touchdowns with this. So again, they block outside veer. Now we have the number because now it's an odd front.
Yeah.
And he can head upfield. So this year they started out 4-0 and then lost their last 6 games, and then the following season they won 9. They went 10-2. So now we're gonna fake. Now we're faking jet on this and running counter, and there he does get up there for a touchdown. Let's see. Now we're into. I need this down here. Yes. Over here, because now we're in the inside veer. Now we'll be leaving the 1 and the 2 alone. There they are. There's 1. There's 2. Blocking 3 out here. I don't think he does.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he TKs him. He's on a flat flare. The problem is he gets back up.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, a lot of guys don't understand how in the world can you leave two guys unblocked and still get the playoff? And it's because they got to be right. They can't be right. If the quarterback does his job, they can't be right.
And you ref the crap out of it in practice.
Yes. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
all the time. So this will be inside veer again. This will be with the twirl motion. This will be against a six front. So now we're gonna block one, read two, pitch three. And this is where you didn't crash down, and so you just hit it up in there. Quarterback pulls it, and there's nobody left because they were in coverage zero. And both the one and or actually the two and the three both crashed down on that. So you get that to happen too, because they really got to rep your responsibilities. There's one, and then see, there's one actually three went right out to the pitch guy. He did his job. Well, then the other guy didn't account for the quarterback. So that's just, and then I do. Again, there should be two guys coming on. There you had to pitch it really early because there they did come really fast. But then, it's normally our pitch guys usually are either our first or second fastest guy on the team.
Of course.
Because sometimes it can be our running back.
Yeah, you're on speed
And
or
there he
right?
puts his foot in the ground. This guy runs out to do his job. But the guy that's supposed to take the quarterback falls down, and there you go.
Coach, can I see some of the midline stuff?
Yep, I can skip right to midline. We got a lot of midline on here. Here's inside. Oh yeah, that's not even right inside. But here's that same play now with the diagram of that whirl motion.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's just great stuff. Here's midline end zone view. Whoop, back up.
Yeah.
So again, this is I think it was a 5-1. Pretty sure it's a 5-1. Yep, he's gonna go right up to that backer, kick out that guy. Center and these guys, he does a great job on that three technique on the backside. And run the
Gotta love a 5-1 box.
yeah, we run the hash marks, the number to the sideline. We don't like him cutting it up here. He should just stay out there. His wide receiver's doing a great job. He actually pancakes this guy out there. Here's a 5-1 box again. So even though they got all meshed up inside there, that guy can't be right.
Now, do you throw like screens out to the receivers and stuff too?
Not like we should. This year would be the first year we're going to start doing that a lot more.
I'm just wondering why they'd play you in a 5-1.
I think they rushed for. Well, I think we rushed for almost 500 yards that game. That team was terrible.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
This team now is
outnumbered. They're outnumbered in the box.
yeah. This team now looks like there's an odd front again, so it's just going to be straight ahead blocking. Like I said, isn't great for us. Nobody really holds a block, but the quarterback just kid was pretty good at running this. He pulled a lot more than he should have, but that's a great run. So you can't complain. I think this is one time where yeah, he just can't get there fast enough. He doesn't come
Yeah.
crashing down.
So yeah,
Just look at the quarterback's footwork here too.
yeah,
See,
it looks like
he's lazy. He should be more straight. This foot should be up here. He's a little lazy on that, but
yeah, the read guy number 1, I guess that is on
yep,
your, he was slanting the
yeah.
opposite way. Yeah.
So here's just going to be, and we were like, here's that 5-1 again against that team. This will be the regular view now. But again, that tackle does a great job. And I think we ran out of trips a lot because we kept them in that 5-1 and just kicked out number 2 and off we were, off to the races. midline really, as you see, everybody's like, oh, when you go out a gun, it goes hit so much slower. Well, does it really? I
Yeah.
mean, I'm hitting this slow motion. And it's looking pretty fast to me. That's that one end zone view play that we saw.
What's your quarterback's feet at?
I'm thinking this guy must have been. We tried to bump him up, but it looks like it's about at. Heel should have been at 5, no deeper than 5.
Yeah.
If you have a little bit slower tailback, it'd be better to move them up to 4.5 just to make the mesh faster, but that also makes the read faster.
Yeah.
So, but we like it with somewhere between 4 and 5, depending on our quarterback and our running back. So even though it's a jumbled up mess there, that's fine because we've accounted for everybody else.
Yeah. And he made the right read.
Yeah. But this is what we don't like. Watch this. What are we, 30 yards downfield and he tries to cut it up?
I hate that.
Grounds can't cause a fumble, but sometimes at the refs, when these guys are in their way, they can't see that. The ball's on the ground. What do you expect them to call?
Yeah, right.
And when you should have been out here.
They constantly try to cut back on a player inside of them.
Yeah. And even there's one on here, I think he runs there for a touchdown. I'm like, I don't care. That's not what I taught him. I don't care the end result because that's not what he's taught. And that doesn't make it okay.
I call it the hit stick syndrome.
Yeah.
Like the guy, like they're gonna take control of the player and like over jump it. Like they don't get it if you just stay straight.
Well, let's back this up. This is more midline again now. He does a good job going inside that tackle. That tackle does a really good job holding his block a long time. But it's not exactly really a hard block because usually those guys run upfield like that. You know, they're trying to hold their ground, run upfield. So if he gets his head on the right side, we're gone. And that time he must have distracted him. Did you see that? He ran midline pitch. Even like I said, we're never pitching the ball.
Yeah.
So here he comes back with that whirl. I think he ran whirl motion because it looked like he must have came from here. And then watch this dude. He runs right out to that pitch and run upfield. And that's
Yeah.
what it does. He's just a decoy. If we call midline pitch, he's just a decoy. We're never pitching the ball, but the defense doesn't know that.
Yeah, and you do run that inside veer.
Yep. And so it really messes with their minds.
Yeah.
And there's where he could have gave it, and the running back's still running too. But whatever. I mean, like I said, the quarterback really can't be wrong on this unless he gets the running back or him will get tackled in the backfield
Yeah.
because everybody's accounted for. And the cut with the cutback, you can't be wrong there either. And there he is sitting in the hole. Hopefully he gave it. No. Let's see how that was a give.
Yep.
Because I said if he doesn't move, it's a give.
Yeah.
He doesn't even get touched, but that guy doesn't touch either one of them.
Then he'll be tackling without momentum.
Yeah.
He gives it. 9 times out of 10, those tackles are probably taught the tackle to dive.
And here's the other thing: we went away from this. We did it this year because we kind of, I was going through other midline ones, and guys were saying easiest route. This is why we don't do easiest route. It just speeds up that read way too quick. And let's say they have a bad exchange or a bad fumble here, we have no chance.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I always draw it up and we always release inside of that guy just to give us that extra split second for something bad and to slow down that read. But again, there he's one-on-one against the free safety.
Mm.
It's the only guy we can't account for. Well, like I said, we can, if you wanted to tag pitch and if they are rolling, then you can account for him because then he's going to run out of there. But other than that,
Yeah.
you're not going to get him out of there. Make a cover guy tackle. Same thing Coach Kavanaugh said last night. If you weren't on last night, the other coach on here, his is 2 hours and 20 minutes. We did last night, and our offenses, he runs everything out of empty and does more motions and trades, but it's basically his concepts are a lot like mine as far as veer goes.
Yeah, and I actually coached with Coach Kavanaugh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I was watching his before this one.
okay. Yeah, and then like me and him were talking. He's thinking about adding midline to his because he sees the how easy it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, midline and also
There he
that
is.
Uno play.
Yeah, I do have Uno on here. It's just really hard to see, but I do have it on
Yeah,
here.
yeah, that's a headache of a play to defend
But
Who
see,
knows the jet with the quarterback?
with the nose read.
see
Yeah.
that, and see how he's got his head on. He's perfect. He's got his feet nice and wide. I think we're back to where we started. But gosh, those blocks downfield are just. Oh, I didn't tag that as the end zone view. That's why. So here again, cover zero, and there he actually cuts it back on that. Yeah, here's the play again. Oh, this is great because he actually hits the cutback, which it's designed to do. Yeah, here's that same play. Bam, hits that cutback. See you later. Those guys backside, they're not thinking that the ball's coming that way. And it's great blocks and it's easy blocks. The angles on those blocks are beautiful backside. Here again, like I said, we knew this team and how they're going to line up against trips, and we figured our wide receivers could do the blocking, and they did a phenomenal job. I think the other one might have got called back unless this was a different drive. Yeah, I didn't think he gave it. He never gave it. That was a give too. The read never got touched. Again, this dumb quarterback on some of these cut outside. If he had already been running out here, he would have ran away from all those guys.
Are you seeing a lot of blitz packages and stuff?
Um,
At stuff or
lately, the last couple years, we started to more where they would send six every time, and that's why I'm like, okay. And we weren't a very good jet sweep team because that's been our answer, but we weren't a good jet sweep team, so then we had no answer, and we did get crushed that game. That's
yeah,
where you said that's what I told I when I talked to my best friend, and that's why we've studied the air raid now. Is we got to make the screen game our D gap run play, like what a lot of colleges are doing, right?
yeah.
Yeah, and that's where we got to get to now. That's our next step of the offense is to make that happen. So I've been studying the air raid and going to make that happen. So
Yeah,
we're
because I
gonna
don't have to worry about that stuff too. You
yeah, and that's we're gonna basically just start with just the quick passes because it's high school. We're not very good at pass blocking because we spent so much time on run blocking. That way we can just one, two, or we can just step and throw. The ball's out.
I mean, anywhere you would have a pitch, you could basically just attach a wide receiver key
Screen.
screen there.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go. You got one going right there,
What is this guy doing? I don't remember this play being on here.
making people miss, coach.
Yeah. Oh, that was terrible to watch.
It's
There he
great
comes
coaching.
down, steps up, even though we miss blocks, and he still squeezes through all that crap. It just messes them up so much on the inside when you've been running it over and over and over again.
Yeah, they have to stay consistent with their game plan.
There's that one time on that end zone view where he didn't crash down
Hmm.
and he just takes it right up the gut, just the way it's supposed to be. I mean, he doesn't even get touched till 12 yards downfield. Look at that. Both guys. I mean, we're at second level like now. I love it. That was just a quarterback doing the right, making them play. Here's outside veer. If I escape out, it's so much better to watch that out of the there. We'll just watch this view. So much better instead of watching all those ones when you can't see anything.
Hmm.
So I mean, even when you leave three, there's still not a guy there. Now sit and pitch. Of course, he's not going to. That would have been a great time to sit and pitch.
Yeah.
When that guy's flat-footed, to sit and pitch the ball, or put your foot in the ground and cut it up. Don't keep running outside where the running back is. Great. Oh, bad job of that tackle. You still.
Coach, when you run midline, you're mostly running out of 2x2 sets.
Yep, and then you saw like that one game because we, watch film. We ran it out of trips a lot. Just because we knew how they're going to line up and they were going to widen and go cover zero against us, and they're going to move everybody away from there. So, like I said, we see man 80 to 90% of the time because we just run so many formations like you guys do.
Yeah.
And here there should have been. Here's why you need a. I don't think we should have needed a pitch back on this. That looked like our veer kick, but I don't think we had it in this year. Because he's doubling down here. He comes in here. We read this guy, and then this guy's out blocking. Yeah, that would be our veer. That would have been veer kick right there, but because we didn't have a motion guy. Yeah, he does cut it up here. And another thing, like you said, if your guys block the wrong guys for us, if the read keys blocked, it's an automatic give. Because if the lineman has a brain fart, we tell him to block the man on. Like if we don't get a poison call and they don't know who to block, we tell them to block man on. That way, at least we can't lose yards. We shouldn't lose yards. And that way the quarterback sees that if the read guy's blocked and he hands it off, we shouldn't lose yards. And we shouldn't ever have a negative play by doing that. It's just such an easy wall, especially against three techniques. There, he's improvising and had to throw the pitch. I think you're going to get some under. Look at that. I love that. That's just, we run under centers, but back here too, you'll see that on here in just a little bit. Yeah, this quarterback got really good at. Oh, quarterback sweep even. I don't realize we had. Here's our quick trap with that option. I don't know if you guys want to see that on it. Okay, I have. Yeah, let's get rid of all those quick traps. So basically, yeah, we can only have a few of these. This would be, I think these are probably all Uno. It's so tough to tell on these. If you see this guy coming free like that, yeah, that was probably Uno because you see. But I just had to call them sweeps. But this team really got sweep. They understood it and did a great job running sweep. Yeah, that was Uno. See, the guy comes and attacks the quarterback. And it also makes those back guy defenders stay home. They can't run and get angles downfield because they got to account for the quarterback on the backside. Back this one up and see. That time he could have kept it. Because that guy trying to run him from behind. If he just slow plays that a little bit, he'd been gone out the back door. But we'll take the touchdown.
Yeah, seemed pretty good.
But it just shows you how the back door is so wide open. It really is on this. And there's out of two back even. Like I said, this team was really good at sweep for us, or running Uno. I mean, they got the sweep to go. There, I think the quarterback kept it. Was he guessing or was he reading it? No, that was a give. Great job by the Y going and getting that guy and just taking him out where he wanted to go. And so we're in 21 personnel 90% of the game. Our Y splits out and does everything. And that's basically with our formations, it's the wide running, moving around. There, you could have kept it again there too. And he kind of looked at that afterwards. Great job of getting to the edge. I didn't realize I had this many sweep plays. There's a lot of Uno plays. Let's see. Under center must be. Oh, here. I only have a couple of these. This will look familiar to you. This is what this is what coach will be doing now. Some under center split back. And so we run it down here. This one, I think, I don't know, depending on how big this dude was. Sometimes we'll go ton and we'll move the Y here and we'll move our tackle over. So we'll go ton package.
Hmm.
There's nobody left. I mean, they double team the 3 and there's nobody there. Didn't even get touched on that. This has been like 100%. Oh, wrong button. This has been like 100% scoring for us this play. I mean, and who can't run through that? We ran it at every school we've been at. Here's, oh, okay, this will be Uno now. And let's see. And this must be because the quarterback keeps it. No. I don't know how I called. Oh, I didn't think I had these plays on here. Let's see the backside. Yep. This is definitely Uno because we leave this guy alone. He's coming here and he's coming here. And then these guys are blocking for sweep in the play side. Yeah, it's just a good play. I don't really have anything else. I think that's about it. There, he kept it. See what he saw. He still hasn't been touched. Wow.
That's great.
Ah, I see what happened there. He whiffs. Yep. Or else that would have been a great play. I mean, still a good play, but that was a great play if he doesn't, the guard doesn't whiff on that. And that's against a 3-3 stack. Yeah, he could have really taken off for some yards on that. 3-3 stacks does give us problems. It's because we usually the only time we see it is maybe once during the year, but usually it's in the playoffs. It's the only time we see it all freaking year. So it's just something we don't practice against enough because we don't see it. Yeah, some more sweep, but I can. Oh, there he kept it. See what he sees here. See what defense this is. Looks like it's a 3-4, which is probably what is probably running it. And that's what it should look like. Wide receiver, get out of the way, do something, kid. I thought I made it Uno film, and I didn't find any of these. There he keeps it. Again, like I said, he really can't be wrong, even though I think he was wrong here because these guys. Oh no, he comes running right in, but that guy, where did he come from? Did they blitz both backers? No. He should have had the angle on him. Or is that the read key? You see what I'm saying there? two guys coming fast, and we should only have one guy coming in there.
Yeah, the
So-
one guy.
So somebody
Look-
came in there that
Yeah.
should have been accounted for. Oh yeah, we got wing counter too. I didn't draw it up, but we also like to give if we have a good Y, we got to show him some love. So, and that's why. You got a wing like that can just cut it up and go. It's fun to see. That dude works hard for us, so it's fun when we can give him the ball.
Looks like you should give it to him more, coach.
Yeah, I was looking at that. Oh my goodness, that's funny. Wow. Not a lot of tight ends with that kind of speed. That must be the other view of it. Holy moly. Must. Oh, here we go. Wing counter again. And that just helps with that ram formation. You know, so when they see that, they don't think that we're just running to his side because we're going to run midline or, you know, we're putting them there for a reason. So then they can't just key off of that either. Because we like to, you know, like I showed earlier, you know, that wham block. And so they think that midline's coming and then all of a sudden it's not coming. Then we'll run Uno that way too. So then it's a really nice counter back away from all that crap. And obviously the kid can carry the ball. So. There's where we get that kind of that 2-for-1, but you know, he does a great job just kicking him out and then he cuts it up, but we should have accounted for that inside guy. I didn't know what play that was. That was a run. My buddy cut this up for me. Ooh. How did I not? Oh, I couldn't tell on these plays. But anyway, that's basically the film I got. I mean, I got our play actions, but it's all either Viper digs or just our goes. I mean, that's the only two pass plays we really have. This was the highlight film my buddy cut up for me on huddle. So he had to start and stop all these plays for me. So do you have more time or do you want to call it quits?
I'm good. Again, I gotta watch TV on the couch here for a little
Yeah,
bit.
let me stop the record here. Oh man, how am I gonna